just in case the slow people listening decide to click this up later, I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
Now, controversy is brewing as Attorney General Pam Bondi issues a stern warning to Representative Jasmine Crockett. The drama unfolded when Crockett called for a tax on Elon Musk on her birthday, ominously stating, "Let's take him out on my birthday." However, she later backpedaled, claiming she wasn't advocating for violence. Now, Bondi wasn't having it, cautioning Crockett to tread very carefully as an elected public official. Now, she emphasized that nothing will happen to Elon Musk and that her team will fight to protect Tesla owners' safety, vowing to put an end to domestic terrorism. Now, people are weighing in, with some expressing outrage and others eagerly waiting for Crockett's response. Will she back down or double down? I'm urging you to watch the videos until the very end to see Jasmine Crockett setting the record straight in the last video. So with that said, let's get into the videos as different people react to this. I will be right back.
Now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for a tax on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, "Oh, I'm not calling for violence." Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk. And we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country, and it's this basic safety. Once again, domestic is going to come to a stop in our country.
This message is for Jasmine Crockett, and you're probably not Jasmine Crockett because you probably don't know how to work TikTok because your education level is at a first grade level. So you can stay anyways. What is this woman doing? And actually, I would love to know her education level. How in the actual hell is she a lawyer? I mean, I want to know how she cheated the bar. I would love to know. I mean, she had to have. There's just no way she passed that without some sort of help, if you will. She's calling for violence on her birthday. Let me guess, she's going to have a pin on her shirt with some 50s and 100s hanging off of it too, because let's just be ratchet like that, you know what I'm saying? She's an elected official, and I am so sorry, Texas. I'm so sorry.
Pam Bondi just warned Jasmine Crockett, telling her to tread carefully in all of her attacks towards Elon Musk. Now, Jasmine Crockett has never made a violent retort against Elon Musk. However, she has said that she has wanted Elon Musk to be taken down. And Pam Bondi is stating to tread very carefully and that she is going to do everything that she can to protect Elon Musk and that nothing's going to happen to him. And she will also do her best to protect all Tesla owners. Now, this is happening just a few hours after the Trump administration said in a memo license to Pam Bondi to limit lawsuits happening against the Trump administration and to punish law firms and possibly even enforce sanctions upon the law firms that would try to come against the administration. And in case you're like, what's a sanction again? A sanction is just any sort of legal penalty. So they would just be penalizing any sort of law firm for coming against the administration.
Yes. The Attorney General of the United States of America told a Congresswoman to stop threatening Elon Musk and to tread carefully because she will do everything possible to protect Tesla shareholders. And Jasmine Crockett is apparently a civil rights attorney, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see how she'll respond to this. Will she bend the knee? All that fire she puts out in Congress. Let's see, now that the heat is on her, let's see how she responds. If she bends the knee or if she comes out easy. But what I wanted to talk about was something else. Donald Trump has issued a memo, look this up, to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, telling her to put a pause on all lawsuits against the federal government. And he told Pam Bondi that any law firm that wants to bring a lawsuit against the United States of America, she should basically punish them and make them pay for that and possibly put sanctions on that law firm. Now, that's what I wanted to talk about, because that will tell us the state of law in the United States of America. That will tell us the state of the mindset of the lawyers in the United States of America. Because, see, what I'm thinking is, after this threat, every law firm in America, every law firm, even the one that only does veterinary law, Every law firm in America should sue the federal government. When I say this, I mean Pam Bondi, United States Attorney's Office. The United States government should spend every day for the next 2 years answering summons. That's what I would like. Look at it this way. You really are trying to threaten us, the lawyers of America, the entire lawyers of this country. You're trying to threaten us. Oh, it's over for you. That's how the response should be. But let's see what happens. Let's see if Trump is actually an emperor or not. For me, this will be the indicator.
Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Pam Bondi. Y'all seeing this trend in individuals who keep attacking Jasmine Crockett? A bunch of unfit, unqualified individuals. But Jasmine gonna keep handling it.
Let me be so incredibly clear. Do not threaten or cause harm to Jasmine Crockett. Okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care that you're the Attorney General. Saying she needs to tread very carefully because she's calling out and joining calls to action, non-violent action, against a man that is currently, right now, causing harm to so many people is insane. Do not do that. I swear to God, it has taken me so many times to record this video because I'm this pissed. Do not do that. I know what that means. You're not going to do that to my representative, okay? I do not care who you are. It is so obvious that you all are trying to bait the Black community. Stop. Okay?
I could have swore when Pam Bondi did her interview on Fox News that she was about to say we're going to protect Elon Musk, and she had to hurry up and straighten that up, because how can you remove security detail from previously elected officials and tell the American people that you're going to go all out to protect Elon Musk? Make it make sense. Then she goes on to say she's going to protect all the Tesla owners. You got to watch the play on words with things with people. After she finished that whole summary of how she can protect Elon Musk and his business in so many words, she went on to say domestic needs to stop in this country. So she's trying to tie that in to Jasmine Crockett.
To Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States. You want to make empty threats about Jasmine Crockett needing to tread lightly. Let me be clear here. I don't give who you are or what you stand for or who you are. When it comes to Jasmine Crockett, your threats mean nothing. We stand behind her and we stand with her. Like she said, she has never made any accusations for anyone to go out and vandalize or tear up anything. Stop putting words in her mouth. And if you think just because you are the Attorney General of the United States, you can threaten people by your office, then we got a thing for you. And we don't get talking about, because it means nothing to us. And I'm standing on that.
Oh, Pam, don't do it to yourself. See, one person that you're not going to play with is Jasmine Crockett. We're still not going to protest. We're still not going to go out in the streets. See, the new rules to the game is, you touch one of us, we will touch 4 of yours. However we got to do it. Okay, Pam? All right? So, since we're out here making threats, I'm just going to let you know the next play that's going to be on the chessboard. We're still not going to riot. We're still not going to protest. We're going to play tag. You're it. Okay? So, this is a 1-to-4 ratio thing that's going to happen. All right? We're going after lineages. All right? We got a whole squad of white are just sitting up, rocking back and forth, and just waiting on the 92% to give orders. You understand what I'm saying? And what we're saying is that We're still not going to riot no matter what you all do, because we all know that that's what you want. But I will let you know that if you touch one of us, and us meaning Jasmine Crockett, you're going to have to go ahead and go to the funeral home and purchase 4 plots. Do you understand what I'm saying? Get the family deal package, because we're going to make sure that you get the message back that you're sending out. Okay? Alright, so let's be nice. We still can speak our minds. But that one will be the biggest mistake of your life. You understand? Okay, I'm glad we had that discussion, okay? You be blessed and have a wonderful night, alright? Take care. Bye-bye.
Attorney General Pam Bondi came out and told Jasmine Crockett to tread very carefully in what she says about Elon Musk. Are you crazy? For context, Jasmine Crockett was speaking at a virtual rally for the Tesla takedown movement and said that March 29th was her birthday, and all she wanted to see was for them to take Elon Musk down. So any rational person knows that that would mean continue to cripple his stock prices, continue to make sure that people don't buy their Teslas and keep trading them in, continue to make sure that people know that Elon Musk is a draft dodger, that he is a one-time illegal immigrant. So, you know, those $5 million green cards, they've always been a thing. Donald Trump's just finally publicly advertising them. And she went on to say, quote, "Nothing will happen to Elon Musk, and we're going to fight to protect all the Tesla owners throughout this country." You know, I gotta say, I've been seeing all the people showing up with their flags and their Trump flags outside of the Tesla dealerships. And you know what it makes me want to ask you all? Where were you when all our kids were being faced at school? You guys are so upset about this, calling it domestic sorts of things. Oh no, somebody set some Teslas on fire and they're angry. But when our kids face with our 15s, it's funny. I don't remember seeing a single one of you. Oh, hey, Pam Bondi, my name's Ryan Shedd, so if you want to come after me, go ahead, because if I get my way, we're going to be using United States Code 18, Chapter 115, subsection 2381 to get rid of all you.
It's good to see you, my friend. And I'm going to say, I was looking at you on the monitor while you were listening to Pam Bondi. You seem to be not fazed at all. The Attorney General there, though, is telling you to tread carefully. I'm curious your response, and have some of these protests at Tesla dealerships gone too far?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to say that I participated in a Tesla takedown. That is the name of the website. And it was all about this large protest that they're calling for. And this is a nonviolent protest that they're calling for. And in fact, when I was on there, which is why the Attorney General had to say that I wasn't calling for violence, and it's ridiculous that I even have to say something like that. But because they are trying to twist our words, one of the things that I told people to do is make sure you are adhering to the laws in your area. Make sure you know what it looks like to protest and to be able to raise your voices and to exercise your constitutional right to free speech. And what we see is that they want to dull our free speech rights. They want to make sure that those that are participating in the press, because we saw that there have been recent attacks specifically on this news organization, they want y'all to kind of tamp down what you say and hopefully buy into the lies instead of going out there and just telling the truth. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see that Elon Musk, that his money as it relates to Tesla, well, Tesla's tanking right now, and I'm okay with that. So just in case the slow people listening decide to clip this up later, I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuse for those violent actors such as the ones on January 6th. So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
When Pam Bondi, though, says, you know, tread carefully, what does that even mean?
Yeah. All it means is that she's attempting to get me to say, oh, I'm going to be scared and I'm just not going to say anything, because they are willing to literally break the law. I mean, that's what we've seen them do. They are ignoring court orders. They are ignoring what our own laws are. When we look at things such as impoundment, things like that, this entire administration is rogue. And this isn't about partisanship. I keep trying to tell people that we are living in the time of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And right now, when we are looking at the black letter of the law and they are deciding, I'm just going to ignore it, then they are wrong. That is clear as day. And right now, they are going after anyone who decides that they will challenge them, whether it's the judges that are sitting on the benches, whether it is lawyers that have decided that they were going to represent their clients to the best of their ability, and most of them won against Trump and his administration. Basically, they are trying to get rid of all voices of dissent.
Okay, well, let's pick up on right versus wrong, because a new memo from the Trump administration in part directs the heads of the Justice and Homeland Security departments to seek sanctions against attorneys and law firms who engage in frivolous, unreasonable, and vexatious litigation. I've never used the word vexatious, but there you go, against the United States, or in matters that come before federal agencies. And I remind viewers, you are a trained lawyer.
Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi and Rep. Jasmine Crockett, D. Texas, traded bars on Sunday after Crockett said she wants billionaire Elon Musk to be taken down on her birthday. Crockett made the remarks during a mass mobilizing call with the Tesla takedown movement, a group organizing a global protest on March 29th across more than 500 Tesla locations against Musk's campaign to slash the federal bureaucracy. Her birthday falls on that same day. Now, Bondi warned Crockett to watch her words in an appearance on Fox News Sunday morning. She is an elected public official, so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk, and we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country, Bondi said. Now, shortly after, Crockett fired back at Bondi on MSNBC, arguing that she was not calling for violence. I just want to say that I have never promoted violence whatsoever, yet I've also never made excuses for those violent actors such as the ones on January 60th, Crockett said. We all heard in that video. So, Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 60th, she added, referencing President Donald Trump's pardon on January 6th rioters and defendants. Now, Bondi last week announced charges against 3 people over the violent destruction of Tesla properties. According to a press release, she warned others that if you join this wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, the Department of Justice will put you behind bars. The Tesla takedown movement is urging protesters to sell their Teslas, dump their stock, and join the picket lines. Now, Crockett during the call said that we know that we're peaceful, loving people, and this is not about violence. President Trump held a recent event at the White House to boost sagging Tesla sales, while Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has publicly praised Tesla's stock. Now, Jasmine went on to say, I have learned as I serve on the Dodge Oversight Committee that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now, and that language is money. Now, at least 3 suspects have been hit with federal charges following a spate of violence against Tesla dealerships and charging stations since Trump's inauguration January 20th. And Bondi has threatened that those arrested in connection with these attacks will face domestic terrorism charges that could carry up to 20 years in prison. People need to know, the 3 people in custody right now, they'll receive severe and swift consequences. Bondi stressed, we are not negotiating these. We are not coming off these charges. We are looking at everything, especially if this is a concerted effort. Now, just like a brother has already said, he was talking about a memo that was issued to Pam Bondi. The White House directed federal law enforcement officials to seek sanctions against attorneys or law firms that challenge President Donald Trump's actions in court, a move seen as an escalation of the president's attacks on those who oppose his aggressive policy changes or who have litigated against him in the past. Now, White House memo issued last Friday night orders Attorney General Pam Bondi and Homeland Security Secretary Christy L. Noem, to pursue ethics challenges against lawyers who they accuse of bringing meritless cases or making arguments that are not backed up by fact, including in immigration courts. Now, the presidential memorandum preventing abuses of the legal system and the federal court also ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to recommend revoking attorney security clearances or terminating law firms' federal contracts if she deems their lawsuits against the administration unreasonable or vexatious. Now, the memo follows executive orders against 3 firms, Covington and Barling, which provided pro bono legal services to former special counsel Jack Smith, who hated Trump multiple times. Perkins Coie, which represented Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign and worked with an opposition research firm that compiled a discredited data against Trump, and Paul Weiss, where a former firm partner tried to build a criminal case against Trump while he was working at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office several years ago. Now, the executive order suspended the security clearances of the firms, employees, and barred them from some federal buildings, steps that would make it difficult for them to represent clients. Now, most important, the order said the federal contracts of the law firms' clients should be reviewed as well. Brad Kapp, the Paul Weiss chair who was criticized for striking a deal with Trump last week, cited that threat in a message to employees that leaked soon after he sent it. Now, the executive order could easily have destroyed our firm, Kapp wrote. In particular, it threatened our clients with loss of their government contracts and the loss of access to the government if they continued to use the firm as their lawyers. Trump ally Steve Bannon said last week that Trump's goal is to bankrupt the firms the administration perceives as enemies. He's going to put those law firms out of business. Bannon said, "What we're trying to do is put you out of business and bankrupt you." A group of 22 civil rights organizations, including the NAACP and the American Civil Liberties Union, condemned the new memorandum in a statement. They contended that it was intended to chill dissent, avoid accountability, and weaponize the government to attack opponents of this administration and its lawless actions. White House officials defended the move. Now, President Trump is delivering on his promise to ensure the judicial system is no longer weaponized against the American people. President Trump's only retribution is success and historic achievements for the American people. Assistant White House Press Secretary Taylor Rogers said in a statement to news organizations. David Loffman, a former head of the Justice Department's counterintelligence section, who served in both Republican and Democratic administrations, called the use of executive branch power to intimidate law firms and lawyers unprecedented. If anyone in any previous White House in the modern era had ever hatched such an authoritarian plan to silence and punish the legal profession, the Attorney General and White House counsel would have quietly intervened, and the plan quickly would have been shelved, he said by text message. Now, spokespersons for the Justice Department and the Department of Homeland Security did not immediately respond to requests for comment. A former senior Justice Department official called the move autocratic. The president does not appreciate how an adversarial legal system works and the role of an impartial judge in that process, said the former official who requested anonymity because of concerns about retaliation. That is the best way to expose weak evidence and flawed arguments, he added. The president rejects that system in favor of one in which he wins and his adversaries lose and are punished. That is not justice. That is autocracy. Legal experts also accuse Trump of hypocrisy, nothing that his own lawyers have violated Rule 11 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, which bar lawyers from making false or frivolous claims in court. Now, the former senior Justice Department officials said Trump's legal claims that Joe Biden had won key swing states in 2020 by submitting fraudulent ballots utterly failed to meet the Rule 11 standards that Trump cited in his memorandum. Last year, the Supreme Court rejected an appeal from Sidney Powell and other Trump lawyers who were ordered to pay $150,000 in sanctions for filing a lawsuit challenging the 2020 election results in Michigan. Now, Powell also pleaded guilty in Georgia to state criminal charges related to her effort to overturn Trump's loss there. Now, a senior lawyer at a law firm that has sued the administration said the stakes are clear. He's chilling the very sector of society that stands between Trump and tyranny. The lawyer said, lawyers file lawsuits and they get get rulings that adjudicate whether what the administration has done is constitutional or not. And that's our system of government. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, our viewers, have to say about this? Share your thoughts, your contributions in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video.